Making headlines tonight, the local business community upbeat about the economy. Barbadians have their say about the designation of November 30th as Barbados National Day. Franchising touted as the way to go to boost foreign exchange here in Barbados. And in sports, rain and wet conditions spoil Bangladesh's efforts to upstage India at the T20 World Cup.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
A pleasant good night to you. I'm Shane Seeley. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, there are more positive projections tonight for the local economy, with the business sector upbeat about economic activity expected for the Christmas season. President of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Anthony Branker, says the outlook is bright as unemployment and the unemployment rate continues to decline.
The rate of unemployment has decreased, and therefore it means that more persons are working. And therefore, where we have more persons working and we have more tourists coming to the island, these are the factors that will drive spending in the economy and that will drive growth. So you will see that the government is trying its best to get airlift into Barbados to bring people to the island. They're trying their best to make sure that persons remain employed. Those are critical, factors to ensure that you get growth, because if persons are not employed, they can't spend. And therefore, so far we have seen that unemployment was reduced, and therefore we anticipate that with more persons working and more tourists coming to the island, that spending will be increased, and therefore economic activity will be increased.
Speaking to CBC News, the BCCI president reveals the business community is in preparation mode to meet consumer demand during the Yuletide season. While some are concerned about possible price increases, Mr. Branker says local businesses are trying their best to hold strain in the face of fluctuating shipping and freight costs.
The truth is that we have seen, surprisingly, the freight out of China and Asia come down considerably. Checking on freight only last week, we have seen some significant decrease in freight out of that area. However, the freight out of the UK, they have continued to be quite high, as well as out of the Western USA. Anything apart from South Florida, we have seen the cost of moving the containers to South Florida being quite excessive. So we are not yet at a place where we are pre-COVID in terms of our freight costs. But as I said, though, there are encouraging signs coming out of Asia.
State-owned enterprises are expected to undergo significant restructuring under government's new BERT program. That's according to the leader of government business in the Senate, Senator Lisa Cummins. She says while the reform of SOEs was curtailed by the COVID-19 pandemic, it's now firmly back on the agenda.
You have the Urban Development Commission, the Rural Development Commission, National Housing Corporation, the Agricultural Management Trust, Agricultural Management Fund. All of these are entities that are in the need of state-owned enterprise reform. And this administration, Mr. President, has identified a dedicated team already functioning within government who have been given responsibility for the reform of each one of these entities. And so we know who these are team members already constituting the government's economic and financial team. And they are responsible, and we have divided up the state-owned enterprises among the team in order to ensure that we are able to go in and to do reform.
Senator Cummings there speaking as she moved a resolution for the House to take note of and approve the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation Plan 2022. Now, BERT 2022 pertains to the new program with the International Monetary Fund following the conclusion of the 2018 Extended Fund Facility in September. Senator Cummins says, like the previous program, government will not be monitoring itself. She announced plans for the creation of a new public-private sector growth council.
The Prime Minister will speak on that, or how it will be constituted, but it is meant to map growth over the medium term to ensure that it is private sector driven and export led, and it will focus on the following planks, Mr. President: incentivizing the private sector and public investment in climate resilient infrastructure and green transitionary tools, incentivizing the private sector and public investment in low and middle income housing, investing in skills development and training, including utilization of online tools like the NTI, which I mentioned earlier, in order to enhance the human capacity development of our population, preserving financial stability and mobilizing domestic services for local investment in order to facilitate investment opportunities for as many Barbadians as possible.
Staying in the upper chamber, we hear that the Financial Services Commission plays a critical role in ensuring Barbadians have confidence in entities that fall outside of the banking sector. And with proposed amendments to the Financial Services Amendment Bill, the Minister in the Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for culture, Senator Dr. Chantal Monroe-Knight, says they allow for the efficient functioning of the Financial Services Commission. She believes the CLICO affair has shone light on why an entity like the FSC is needed. Senator Monroe-Knight's comments came as she led off debate in the Senate on the Financial Services Commission Amendment Bill 2022.
To be operating and providing the necessary regulation in order to ensure that the investments of ordinary Barbadians, that the investment of all Barbadians can be properly protected. And Mr. President, there is a feeling or even a school of thought that perhaps we are over-regulating. That we are regulating in a way that will stop the dynamism and growth of the sector, particularly one that is emerging. We're hearing now of new instruments in fintech and cryptocurrency, etc.
Now, with Christmas approaching, Government Senator Gregory Nichols wants focus placed on entities he says that are popping up, offering cash loans. He says this must be done as there's no real consumer advocacy group to assess the products being offered.
What do we know of these entities? And certainly the central bank has the power to inspect the books and accounts of banks. And are these entities that are popping up, do the Barbadian public have that comfort that these entities that just prop up offering loans at what I consider to be really amazing interest rates and stuff, and are these compounded interest rates? Is there any advice coming from the Commission as to what is on the market?
Coming up on Newsnight, reaction to the designation of November 30th as Barbados National Day. University professor Don Marshall is not opposed to government's Republic Day celebrations on November 30th, but has voiced some reservation about the tone of the language used in the declaration of Barbados National Day. Professor Marshall, director of the Sir Arthur Lewis Institute of Social and Economic Studies, says it is synonymous with a decree being read. Professor Marshall told CBC News, given the sentimental feelings Barbadians have to November 30th as Independence Day, it would have been prudent to get more public buy-in before making the declaration.
It was needless because I think leaving structures, leaving things as they were, while you take the opportunity this month and on Independence Day to sensitize Barbadians and lay nostalgic grounds around the progression from independence to republic was the way in which to go. We will come as a people eventually to organically understand the twinning of those events. But to make a declaration that November 30th will now be called Barbados National Day, I think that's an exercise in this power, to my mind.
With the talk of having an additional day set for celebrating Republic Day, Professor Marshall is of the view that there are currently too many holidays on the Barbadian calendar as it is.
We have too many holidays. We have a National Heroes Day. We have an Barbados Day. We have Emancipation Day. And we have Independence Day. There is a way in which having a Republic Day is overkill.
Also having his say in the debate, political scientist Dr. George Bell sees the public uproar surrounding the controversial Barbados National Day designation is much to do about nothing. Dr. Bell says the facts are that both Independence Day and the Republic Day status were attained by governments for Barbados on November 30th. And as a consequence, this is the date that both have to be celebrated. He tells CBC News if there was opposition to the timing of government's designation of Barbados National Day on November 30th, the best time to have voiced that would have been at the time the conversation was first introduced.
People accept that a decision was taken last year to go to the Republic on the same day or on the day that coincides with us having moved to independence. If we did not want that to happen, the battle should have been won then. To say, do not put it on that day because it is going to displace the significance, the special significance of the achievement of independence. So put the movement to a republic to another day. But we didn't win that battle. We went to a republic on the 30th of November. So that is settled.
Dr. Bell, however, is not opposed to having Republic Day celebrated another day outside of November 30th.
That is what could have been argued last year. Okay, that the Republic should be on a different day. The celebration, the achievement of Republic Day and the celebration should be on a different day. All I'm saying is that it took place on 30th of November. So if we want to mechanically move it in terms of saying this causes some discomfort sufficient that we should not celebrate both on the same day, I presume that we could go down that road. But if you're arguing that the two things cannot be celebrated on the same day, or that there is no reason why they cannot be, because both of them did take place on the same day, on the 30th of November.
And on the streets now, reactions were mixed across the age divide as Barbadians vented their feelings on the news that Barbados National Day would be November 30th. Here's what they had to say.
Actually, yeah. I changed my mind. If it's both at the same time,
Just feel different that it changed, that's all. I'm not sure.
Not for the national holiday. Yeah. That's my opinion.
I have no problem with it. It's their decision, can't go against it. So yeah, I agree with it. We're Republic now, so but the Prime Minister said it still goes National Day and Independence Day.
It's a good thing for Barbados that we are now nationally independent, right? And I appreciate that very much what the Prime Minister have done for this country and the people of Barbados.
I want to say they've all as well, but I'm happy with the Independence Day. Independence Day is the next time.
And Prime Minister Mia Moore-Motley responded to criticisms of the introduction of Barbados National Day and those who see it as an attempt to annihilate the memory of the father of independence, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow. Ms. Motley in a statement said this is totally not the case. She says Barbados National Day on November 30th allows the country to celebrate both the attainment of independence and becoming a parliamentary republic with a native Barbadian as president. Ms. Motley notes she has seen and heard the comments on social media.
The Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
In business tonight, franchising is reportedly the way to go if Barbados is to boost foreign exchange. The matter got the attention of participants from across a number of local enterprises at a high-level franchise workshop today organized by Export Barbados BIDC. Trevor Thorpe reports.
Export Barbados is looking to raise no less than 20 franchises per year. Word of this from Chief Executive Officer of Export Barbados BIDC, Mark Hill, as he addressed the opening ceremony of the company's Franchising Your Business 101 workshop in the Bignells Point Gallery, Pelican Village today. The business official told the gathering Barbados has to look for other ways of doing business in a new age.
Right now we're seeing, based on our pivot as a corporation, with our emphasis on bioenergy, bioeconomy, design economy, and ocean economy, we're seeing a 15% growth in the context of supply chain issues, in the context of emerging out of a global pandemic, in the context of high fossil fuel prices, and we are still seeing double-digit growth. So which means that Barbados was simply being a sleeping export giant. As small as it is, there is a reality of the Barbados brand.
Franchise consultant Chris Connor of Franchise Marketing Systems said his company is looking for brands that exhibit the traits and characteristics to make a success in the marketplace.
Every franchise model, including the global ones, the McDonald's, the KFCs, the big international franchise system, started out in the exact same position. They had a good business model, they had a great brand, they had a vision for growing it and opening it up in new markets, and they took the first step. They had the faith and the vision to see a bigger opportunity and took the first step. But everyone who is successful now started out in the exact same boat, and hopefully with some discussions and interviews and time, we can help entrepreneurs see that opportunity and be willing to consider taking the franchise step.
But Shauna Rollins had encouraging words for participants. She told the audience she is close to completing deals with franchises overseas for her company, Delicious Treats.
Different customers started coming to us saying, you will do good in other places, in the region, in St. Kitts, Trinidad, Jamaica. And that is when I started thinking of other options for locations regionally and globally. And when I did my research, franchising seemed to be the most viable option.
The day-long session attracted participants from a cross-section of new and established businesses in Barbados. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
A new telemedicine service will soon open its doors here in Barbados. It's called Optimum Health. Public Affairs officers Gail Joseph and Jaquela Riley told the Business Report the initiative is also part of a rebranding exercise of Mall 34 Broad Street. Ms. Joseph said they had to overcome a number of challenges in order to get the project up and running.
This is a new initiative basically that we're trying. You'll be able to see and talk to a doctor face-to-face with free consultation, as well as you'll be able to have access to ECGs, EKGs, blood tests, x-rays from home or office. Also, downstairs we have plans of doing a 24-hour pharmacy, and an ambulance will also be on board that is coming soon. And it's a monthly subscribe service that we're offering.
Time now to go back over to Damien for the second half of sports. Damien, it's over to you.
Thanks so much, Shane. Well, it went down to the final buzzer as Barbados Community College defeated St. Michael's School in an exciting game yesterday in the National Sports Council Under-19 basketball tournament.
St. Michael's School visiting Barbados Community College in this Under-19 basketball showdown. Contested three-pointer from Michael Walks is good. Had 11 points in the contest. SMS answered on the very next possession. Nathan Hunt penetrate and kicks out. Finds Caleb Gaskin, that sugar three. Gaskin also played service provider. Joel Lord finding his spot. Right side of the key. Sweet. Another three. SMS at 17-10 to end the first quarter. BCC with possession to open up the second. Gaskin with the steal. He just might go all the way. Monster jam. Have BCC finally found their match? Only time will tell. Anton Winters calling for the screen. Never needed it. Mid-range floater is good. 11 points to his credit as well. But the SMS Cougars will be thrilled with their first half effort, up 27-23. Noah DePaul gets a friendly roll, scored a team high 15 points. Let's go second half. Switch of ends and perhaps fortunes for BCC. Pull up J from Rory Taylor. Led all scores with 16 points. The hosts really came out looking refreshed. Up fake from Winters. Left hand is good. BCC scored 18 points in the third. Tristan Yard using his height and size in the paint. Needed a double team. But SMS weathered the storm. Points flowing freely and from multiple sources. Catch and shoot from Aaron Messiah. drills the triple from upstairs. On the fast breaks, they moved in numbers 3-on-1. Messiah cashes in. SMS trailing by just 4, 37-41. All important fourth quarter now. Every possession counts. Walk says, I'll take that easy bucket. This one headed for a tight finish. Miss from Gaskin. DePaul with the offensive board, fouled in the process. 3-point play. At the other end, Taylor surveying his options, gets some separation eventually, launches a deep to Money. The hosts strengthening their defense. Taylor tracking well, denies the layup effort and forces SMS to reset. Missed 3-pointer in the end. Down 49-50, hustle time, Yard battle ready, 2 bites at the cherry, getting it done. Seconds left on the clock now, SMS trailing by 3. Gaskin will have the final effort, launches, too much muscle, time expires. Great contest, BCC edge, St. Michael's School, 52-49.
And that's our time for this edition of CBC NewsNight. I'm Shane Seeley. Good night.
Thanks for visiting us. To get more stories like this one, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.